hold on. What I just heard was she was sad, and then a cat showed up, and then she wasn't sad anymore.
Which means the cat did its job.
Perfect.
Just a reminder, this is a spoiler-heavy podcast. Different series that require a spoiler warning will be in the description. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Gaming Theater Podcast. Today's episode is going to be about the Gaming Theater group going over our favorite fictional felines. Now, just before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce all the guests that are going to be here. Once again, it is me, Leo, the Geek Scorpio. I'll be your host for this evening.
I am Ben, Penguin.
I am Moon-tastical.
I am Rob.
I'm Zombiehand, also known as Liz.
I am Tomatoman, also known as Brandon.
All right. And just like we always do, we're going before we get started, let's Hi everyone, this is Geek Scorpio.
And Zombiehand for Gaming Theater Podcast.
For the month of August, we have decided to team up with a local charity called Simply Cats.
Simply Cats got its start with just 6 cats as Just Strays Animal Foundation, Inc. in the late 1980s. By 2005, the name of the shelter was changed to Simply Cats Adoption Center to reflect its feline-only animal population.
Their mission is to save cats from suffering euthanasia and practicing and promoting high standards of care and creating successful adoptions.
A link will be featured in the podcast description where you can find out more information on Simply Cats, including how to donate, support, or even make an adoption.
We have a lot of cat lovers that work with us at Gaming Theater, so for the month of August, we are donating $5 per Patreon supporter to Simply Cats.
Not only do we support Simply Cats, but that's where my cat Phoenix comes from. You may have heard him in the background of some of our recordings.
Thank you for listening. We hope you take a look at Simply Cats, but for now, back to the show. Okay, so with that, we're going to talk about our favorite fictional felines. Because cats are a thing a lot of us like. They're cute, they're lovable, they hang out. But the ones that are done in fiction are kind of an interesting case because they are ones that are placed there on purpose by whoever's the story writer of it. In some cases, the story doesn't even require to have the cat, but they're going to put it in there anyway. And so we'll just go over a few of our favorite ones and examples of where they sort of come from. Like, one of the cats that I really like, because yes, I watched this in the 90s, was Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That little...
Heck yeah.
He's adorable, but also sassy as all get out.
Ooh, I can't wait for more fish.
Well, I mean, if you're cursed to be a cat for the rest of your life after your failed attempt at world domination.
Our memories got refreshed with that because we wanted to find the episode where Billy Gunn was in it and wrestled Sabrina.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because in order for him to get married, he still had to be present, but he couldn't marry. So Sabrina had to stand in for Sam to wrestle Billy Gunn.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was not... I don't remember this particular episode, although...
Yeah, Salem dodged an opportunity to fight Billy Gunn and his ass boys.
See, I think my favorite thing about Salem
is
that despite his punishment, he never really gave up on taking over the world. Like, he couldn't do it as a cat, so he was just sort of biding his time. But that desire never left.
He's always in it.
He pretty much just became a mischievous little guy at that point. He's like, you know what? If I can't take over the world, I'll at least take over this household.
You start small, work your way up. That's... Doofenshmirtz does that. He doesn't go after... Doofenshmirtz doesn't go after...
Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
Doofenshmirtz doesn't...
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't want to take over the entire world or even the country. Just...
The Tri-County area.
The Tri-County area. That's it.
One step at a time.
At some point, he just solidly does it, too, and just... That's about it. I'm good. But yeah, I think that's a fun one to start with. I did not know about Billy Gunn. All right, let's go with a different cat on this one. Probably a newer one. I want to explore Morgana.
Ah, yes, Morgana from Persona 5. Liz, I'm sure, has plenty to say about that one.
I mean, I like Morgana. I don't know what what I should say about him.
He's the cat's meow.
He's the cat's meow.
Oh yeah, cat puns are coming in.
It's Morgana. Morgana thinks he's people.
Does Morgana also turn into a car?
Yes, we don't
Yes,
talk about that. And it's a bus, damn it.
Why? Why don't we talk about that?
Because I don't like the concept of saying, here, let's go get inside my cat.
Well, he turns into a car. He's not a cat at that point. He's just a sentient car.
I would like to argue on that one because I think he still has whiskers.
So I could go put whiskers and a tail on my car, and it wouldn't be a cat.
And then your car is now a cat.
It's not. Anyway, I really like Morgana. Morgana's
Morgana's got a great personality too.
Morgana is your initial navigator in Persona 5 until you get your official navigator later. Like how Rise is in 4, Futaba is in 5. And but Morgana acts as your initial indicator, just kind of like introducing you to the whole like everything that's going on and the metaverse and all that stuff.
Yeah. Wasn't there an anime, like I want to say it's Studio Ghibli, that also had a bus that turned into
Totoro?
Is it Totoro?
Yeah, My Neighbor Totoro.
No, the cat bus. It was literally a cat bus.
It's a cat bus, and I don't think Totoro's not like a cat.
Oh yeah, he is.
He looks more like a rabbit to me, of sorts. I think it's mostly the ears, just.
But the bus, on the other hand, that is a cat.
I'm looking it up.
Just a full-on cat.
What is Totoro?
It's like an enigma. But then if you go into like Studio Ghibli cats, you also gotta talk about like Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service and his sass tack. You know what? I feel like Gigi's just like the nice version of Salem in an alternate universe. Where it's like, I don't want world domination, just want to hang out with these witches.
I'm good here.
No, he was pretty sassy.
Oh yeah, but that's just his cat-like instincts.
So okay, yeah. Apparently Totoro is a forest spirit that combines elements of various creatures, but is perceived as a rabbit-like spirit.
Nailed it!
Oh, so that's a rabbit.
Oh, I thought it was a chinchilla.
Ooh, I can definitely see chinchilla though. Like if he had more tail, that'd be like chinchilla AF.
Yeah.
But when I look at a picture, it looks like a rat. It gives me some Tanuki vibes with the big bushy tail.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a lot of things. But a cat apparently is not one of them. But there is a cat bus. That's a different creature.
Actually, speaking of like sassy black anime cats, now I'm thinking of the demon that became a cat in Ghost Stories.
Oh geez, yeah. That anime is so stupid though.
It was like, all right, you stupid fucking kids. Just like, here's how you gotta take out these demons now.
It's like Salem if he actually had power still.
You know what? That's anime Salem. He just goes around just like, F the lot of you. Instead of hanging out with witches, I'm just gonna I'm gonna F with these kids.
I like how it's weird that Salem's now the benchmark.
You know what? Yes. Salem set the bar for just like sass-tacular cats. And I was like, be like Salem.
Well, because I mean, when you've got a cat character, sass is sort of your default personality, because that's just how cats are.
It's in the category.
No, get out.
No, I'm here to stay.
Damn, rock solid.
Okay. So I wanted to do a couple of video game cats that I really liked, and I wanted to let people know about it. The first one is from kind of an underrated game, but if you get the chance to play it, it's really fun, called Dead State.
Yeah.
Dead State is one where you have to it's a zombie apocalypse game, but what happens is that you have to build fortification and stuff inside the school that you're staying in. The zombie apocalypse has happened. You were there at the very tail end, and it's just now you have to survive until you get to the end. The reason why I bring this up is one of the things that you have to worry about is morale of your team. It's not just food, shelter, and such. It's all and survival and people. It's the morale. If their morale goes to crap, they'll just turn and abandon the whole thing because how depressed or how basically shitty we don't have a fighting chance going through the rest of this world. And that's a true statement in a lot of places. There's a lot of highly respected military generals that tell you battles are won and lost with morale. But I digress. The reason why this comes up is that because at some point in the game, you get the opportunity to have a cat wander into your place and you can adopt him. And it's a little kitty cat named Sam. And I do it every time. What happens is the risk is that Sam takes half of a food unit, so you lose food every day for having this cat. But you gain morale because people like petting this cat around there, and you can just pet him on your way out to deal with the zombie apocalypse.
Nice.
And it's kind of a weird, and this is a weird segue, because there's a having Sam the cat in your they're not in your party like a traditional RPG. They're just another background character.
Sam's not a zombie killing master?
No. There's a dog you can get that does that, though.
Yeah, but dogs are supposed to fight.
And they have a backpack, so the dog can carry something like 70 pounds.
Sweet.
Sam the cat will increase your morale, but also does a second morale boost for that cat because it chases mice and helps remove pests. For those who don't know, that is a legit thing that used to be, they were called library cats.
Ooh.
Back in the day, especially during the places that had large books, mice would get in there to try to eat and trash books in the medieval era. And they didn't have a whole protective system. So one of the options that they have is that they have cats that you just adopt and leave in the library to get rid of the mice. And so you would, if you were an educated person, you could go to the library, not only read your scrolls, but pet your kitty cats while you're at it. This was so effective. There's a town in Rome, or in Italy, or I think it's a section of Rome as well. It's just dedicated to nothing but cats. It's just became a cat sanctuary. But I thought it was kind of interesting because that's a weird real world thing. You would have a cat, and they're mousers. They would chase mice periodically, and you can choose to pet that. I thought it was kind of a fun little cute kitty cat that's just there.
I mean, and it's nice that cats hunt mice and all, but you don't have to justify their presence, okay? They're cute. It's okay to just have them around because they're cute.
Yes, they are adorable little murder machines that I want to hug and pet and call George.
Every one of them?
Oh no, there's one that is called Pooh at a comic shop that we go to. Pooh Bear is adorable. She is a great little kitty who loves being petted by everybody.
Sounds like our cat Ria.
Sounds nothing like my cat Lemon, who is, I think, under the couch because we were cleaning shit earlier, and she ran in fear.
Yeah, that's definitely the opposite of Ria, because I sometimes look at TikTok challenges with that cat, and it's like, what kind of weird things can I do with her? I think one thing I was able to do was pick her up like a basketball, put her between my legs, around my waist, and then put her and prop her up, and holding her for a few seconds, and then she meowed. It's like, all right, you haven't done. And then I just put her on the ground. She started wobbling, then walked straight. She's like, oh, you got a little dizzy, didn't you?
No, I do that to Lemon, and she just if I pick her up, she just immediately sounds like we're murdering her. It's like, cat, I picked you 3 inches off the ground. Chill. I wish it was that quiet. The neighbors probably think we're skinning it alive. I mean, it's bad. She screeches.
I always loved, as video game cats go, Cat Sith.
Yeah, Kate Sith I like.
Is it Kate Sith?
Or Kashyyyk. It's Kashyyyk or something like that is the actual pronunciation.
I always call it Cat Sith because I got the name wrong every time. Later, someone, I think Liz corrected me, was like, it's Kate Sith. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, the official pronunciation is all sorts of weird and I don't like it, so Kate Sith it is. Reoccurs in all kinds of ways, actually. A summon in some games, a party member in others, or just a passerby NPC in some even. And always designed very differently.
Mm-hmm. I still love the cameo appearance of Kate Sith in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because if you've never played Final Fantasy VII, that has got to be a confusing moment.
You're just like, who the fuck's that thing?
No, I saw somebody talking about this online where it's like anybody who has played the original Final Fantasy VII and sees that moment in the remake of Kate Sith, and Sector 7 is falling and it's sad, and you just saw Jesse die and Biggs die and everything is caving in, and this whole this sector that you have gotten to know is falling and dying, and anybody who understands the rest of the game sees Kate Sith and is like, oh my gosh, this is so meaningful to the characterization of Kate Sith and the person whose controlling him, and like it's got such deep emotional impact. Meanwhile, somebody who has never played the original Final Fantasy VII is trapped in this emotional moment and just suddenly sees this Mickey Mouse looking cat thing run out with its giant gloves and start pounding on the ground.
Jesus.
Don't forget, he's wearing a crown.
And a
Yes.
cape.
Well, so here's the thing though. So I'm playing, I've been playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake with my sister, and she has never played a Final Fantasy in her life. She's always been very much like Mario and Tetris, and she got into like Resident Evil and stuff, but she's never played a Final Fantasy, just not really her jam. So last year I wanted to replay the first game, thinking that the second one would be out soon. I was very wrong.
Mistake.
And she loves it, but like there's some things I have to explain as we go. But for the most part, like she's just having a really good time with this. And we got to that part, and I had completely forgotten that Kate Sith shows up there. And so we're watching, like she actually had she was crying. She actively had tears in her eyes because of Biggs and Jessie, and like she actually cried over Jessie dying, and like it was just so devastating, and she was really caught up in the moment. And then Kate Sith shows up and she stops everything, and I had to like pause it because she turned to look at me and she was like, "You want to know how to take someone out of a moment?" That's how you take someone out of a moment. So
Like my emotions.
So I had to explain a little bit to her about.
Hold on. What I just heard was she was sad, and then a cat showed up, and then she wasn't sad anymore.
Which means the cat did its job.
Perfect. Yeah, it was so funny. It was such a good, memorable moment. And what's even better, and this is a little bit off topic, but my sister, having never played another Final Fantasy, any Final Fantasy, she doesn't know what's coming. And so in the remake, there's that part where Aerith gets captured by the Turks, and she gets stuck in Hojo's lab, and you kind of have to go through part of the game without her. And my sister, we were there for a while because we could only play every so often. And so there was a while where my sister was like, "I swear to God, if Aerith dies, I will be so pissed." And she's talking about
Spoilers for 20-year-old games.
and she's talking about, it's like a 25-year-old game at this point, but she's talking about this particular moment. So I'm like, no, Aerith isn't gonna die. She doesn't die because we're talking about this particular moment. However, my sister is very bummed that part 2 isn't coming out until winter 2023. And so I was like, well, we could always play the original together, and that way you have like the frame of reference for, you know, what happened and what we played and then what's coming. And she was like, yeah, let's do that. So we have just the final chapter of the remake to go through. And then we're going to go through the original together. And I am going to secretly video her when Aerith dies. It will be wonderful.
Liz, you're a monster, and I love it.
I know. It's so funny because like her boyfriend has played like a little bit of Final Fantasy, but not a whole lot. It's also not really his jam. But he knows, like he exists in that space where he knows what happens. And so there was one point where my sister was going to the bathroom and Kent was like, "Does your sister know that Aerith dies?" And I was like, "No, don't tell her. You can't say anything to her."
Whoa, hold on. Aerith dies?
What? You mean this is your favorite game of all time and you haven't beat disc 1?
I know, right? No, it's surprising.
Now, does your sister listen to the podcast?
She does not. And even if she did, I would tell her to skip this one and possibly some others because I don't think this is the first time that we've mentioned that. But
it may not be.
That is one of my favorite stories about the Final Fantasy VII Remake because I get to witness somebody going through this for the first time in real time, and like that's a dream because I don't remember the first time I played it.
It's a dream because you get to witness somebody else getting that whole experience the first time, especially in gaming. Some of those moments don't come up very often. Like, what is it? Like Atlas and Rapture, or Rapture in BioShock when you get to Andrew Ryan. When you get to Andrew Ryan, that's a whole experience. With all that.
Yeah, but I think we need to get back to cats.
Yeah, we'll get back to cats. Which I'm trying to figure out something. Red 13 is cat? Is not cat?
So I have a thing on this.
Going through the Wikipedia, they're not helping.
So that's the thing. Look at Red 13's face and his muzzle, and it's very lion-esque.
He's very
lions
cat-like.
are cats.
Exactly. So I lean towards cat. However, it is an ongoing argument online that it is a dog. To the point where it even has worked its way into the lore of the remake to an extent, where Red 13 is referred to and refers to himself even as lab rat dog.
Huh.
But everything anatomically in terms of appearance, as far as I'm concerned, that is a cat.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, every time I saw him, even since the beginning, I always thought wolf. Just like, and there were like some cat characteristics grafted onto there, but otherwise, like even looking at the face right now, he looks wolfish to me.
It's the way he presents as, like, because he has that back, like hump almost thing, or I'm trying to think of the
the arch.
The arch, and that's very canine-like, very wolf-like that you would have because they'll pounce down like that.
Look, what is a wolf if not a bigger fox? Which a fox is just a canis type of cat. So I argue that Red 13 is a cat.
Here on Gaming Theater Presents, we defy science and tell you that dogs are cats.
Yes. No, but honestly, I always viewed like Red 13's head just makes me think of a lion without a mane. And if you look up even just a female lion's head, you'll see a lot of features present there. But again, Red's race is very much so an amalgamation. And even if you look at his tail, it's long and slender, and then at the end has a fluff of fire, which is reminiscent of a lion's tail.
Or Charmander.
So, new argument, Charmander is a cat.
He's a dinosaur!
And it evolves into a flying cat at some point.
Because what Charmander... Not dragon. Charmander is not a dragon.
Not dragon.
Exactly. The confirm it's not a dragon. It's flying fire.
Dinosaur.
Flying fire cat.
Yeah.
It's a dinosaur.
What are dinosaurs if not prehistoric cats?
Jeez.
Everything is a cat, and everyone is a cat.
Hold on. Wait. So, like, let's go back on track to cats. Saber-tooth tigers, though. Do we know any, like...
Cats.
Yes, but do we know any, like, famous saber-tooth tigers? Because all I can think of is the Megazord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but yeah.
Oh, Diego!
Diego, yes! Diego from Ice Age.
Did you say Dry Ice Age?
Oh, that would suck! And it's like, man, you thought the carbon was bad before. Wait until this shit melts.
I thought that was a desert.
It will be.
It technically is. But yeah, Diego is from Ice Age is a saber-tooth tiger. I was thinking of a different one.
So now I'm trying to remember if there was, like, a saber-tooth tiger and samurai pizza cats. But I think they're all just regular house cats that are dressed up in Gundam armor.
I think so, too. I always saw them more in, like, Mega Man gear.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there is a cat in Mega Man, though.
Oh?
Yeah, his name is Rush, because what are dogs, if not cats?
Not cats. This argument's going to stop right now.
No, this argument will never end. I will fight you.
That's like at some point when you just go far down enough in genus pool, cats and dogs are pretty close.
Look, what are bears if not really big, fluffy, angry cats?
What about Battle Cat?
Which cat? Battle. Oh,
that is a
my
saber-tooth
God.
tiger.
You're right.
How did I forget about that
Yeah,
one?
that's a good one.
Yeah, that was a super green cat.
Another one. Another one is Schnarf.
Snar.
Yeah, Schnarf.
Snarf's only like 10% cat.
Everyone else in that show is 10% cat. Snarf is 90% cat and 10% iguana.
See, that's the thing. I think he's actually like 90% iguana.
He's more iguana than cat now.
No, so like thinking of Snarf, it made me think of this One Piece cat, and it's like, is this guy a parody of Snarf? Because his name is Cat Viper, and you said that Snarf is like a cat iguana, and he also goes like nyar all the time too.
Neko Matsushi.
Like if you look up Cat Viper, I feel like he kind of looks like Snarf, but just like what happens if he gets huge, more cat-like, and he replaces his arm with a gun at some point.
Well, then he's
Cat
Barrett.
Cat Barrett. Cat Barrett is secretly Cat Viper. Yeah.
What is a human if not an anthropomorphic
A cat in ape form.
Oh my god, have you guys seen what the remake Snarf looks like?
No, what does he look like? Ooh,
Oh,
hello
Google it.
Are you talking about the one that got canceled on Toonami?
Yes, like
I loved that show. I'm so mad it got
I
canceled.
didn't get to watch it, so
It's actually good, and people need to shut their dirty mouths about that bullshit because it's actually a good show.
Are they cats?
Well, no, it's in their name.
No.
Thunder Cats. They're also part lion, like Lion-O. They're all anthropomorphic except for
Lion-O.
Snarf is a weird combination. Okay, yeah, I've seen Snarf from the remake now. Actually looks super cute. Way
It
cuter than the
does.
original one.
Right?
Looks so much cuter. Okay, remake Snarf looks adorable.
I know, right?
I want to keep him now.
Yeah.
All he does is say Snarf. He doesn't, say anything obnoxious and annoying.
So it's essentially a Pokemon.
I was gonna say that one looks a heck of a lot more like a kitty cat.
Except for Meowth.
I think the 80s Snarf suffered from that trend in the 80s where like the side character, they always gave him like that weird like old man wrinkled look with big protruding eyes and crap, and then they just tried to make it cute and it never was cute.
It's like everyone tried making other animals as handsome as Danny DeVito and they just could never achieve it.
That is definitely a word for Danny DeVito.
Well, Danny DeVito's big career move is Taxi, and that's in the 70s. So Danny DeVito has been around to inspire cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and then too, DeVito kind of stepped out of acting for a bit to focus on directing, and then he did Always Sunny in Philadelphia and became everyone's favorite little asshole.
Yep. But, I was trying to find this out, and I want to get back to Meowth, because I love that dude. Both in-game and in anime, hilarious, dude.
Yeah, you know what? Gaming cats, all the freaking Pokemon cats.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's actually like a lion one
There
now.
is. There's,
So you know what? Leo
Yeah.
involves in the Power.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they even differentiate the actually in the game on that, they even differentiated like how they look. So the females will only have like a giant like mohawk streak of a fire, but the men would actually have like the full on like mane.
Yep.
But the thing is, they also ratioed the men like 1-3,
Like a
to
pride.
the woman, like a pride.
I think the ratio is even harsher than that. I think it's 1 out of 10.
Okay, gotta look at ratio and colors. Because I know it was bull BS to find Leo.
Yeah, because it was a nightmare to track.
I just wanted him to have a mane. That's all. No, ratio is 12.5 to 87.5.
So 1 in 9.
Yeah, 1 in 9.
Okay, so 1 in 12 or something like that, right? No. You're right. 1 in 9.
But like a pride.
That's a rough estimate on that. But yeah, like a pride, which would be those are the ratios for it. So especially now, here's the trivia for those who haven't played the original Red and Blue. In Red and Blue and Green and Yellow, there is only you could only earn cash in 2 specific ways. The first is to fight any of the trainers. If someone's a trainer, they have to give you cash if you beat them and win. The second is if you had Seal or Meowth, because they were the only 2 characters in the entire game that has a move called Payday, which gave you money for using that move, that attack.
I misunderstood that move as a kid and thought I was throwing my money at them.
Honestly, I thought that too, or just like that Meowth just like swiped your money and used it as a weapon. It's like, all right, I guess I provide projectiles for Meowth now.
It's like, you son of a bitch, that's mine.
Meowth, fuck off.
See, what I loved, because that actually comes up in the anime, it's the reason that Team Rocket has Meowth.
Oh my god!
Is because he's supposed to use Payday so that they can have money, and that's how they fund their operations. Except that particular Meowth
can't learn Payday
because he, quote, used up all his smarts learning how to
I
talk.
can't learn any new move because I spent all of my smarts on learning how to talk like a human.
So in conclusion, Meowth is kind of the main reason Team Rocket's broke as shit.
Yes. And I think that in a world where your entire species is really like every animal in the world is basically judged on how well it fights. Meowth is like, nah, I'm gonna be a socialite.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna use my Meowth for that.
Look, man, them's fighting words, okay?
But in all fairness, he did like fully do that to try to like try to impress the little like cat Meowth, which still ended up leaving him for the street Persian. Oh god, actually, I'm even just like looking up some cats. Actually, since we're on the subject of Meowth, he also has some forms in some of the other games too.
Meowth evolves into Persian. I know that.
Yes, but I know in the Alola he also becomes a dark type in there, and it's like he's a dark cat now. He's the black cat.
Yes, but in Sword and Shield, he becomes a steel typing and is like a Viking cat with a big ass beard, and he's dope.
His name's Berserker.
Yes, and he is amazing, and I love him.
And you know what? So, because I still got this whole thing, how about the cat that evolves into Tiger Mask?
Oh yeah, starts out cute, adorable flea cat.
You got your Litten, just like, hell yeah, I'm Catastic. Evolves... Oh, what does he evolve into? God.
Oh, Incineroar?
Yes. Evolves into Incineroar. It's like, haha, I'm the heal Pokemon. That's his actual definition. He's the heal Pokemon.
As in what? I say heal and you come here?
No, as in he's the bad guy, which is also why he's a dark type.
No.
Because in wrestling, there's a term called faces and heels. Faces are good guys and heels are bad guys. Yep. But also just looking at him, just like, that's Tiger Mask. Famous cat wrestler, man. And also just anime.
That's a famous luchador, Tiger Mask, and that's basically what this Pokemon turns into. For the record, not gonna count any of the Tekken luchador cat mask. What? They're people with a cat mask.
Like, listen, they fall under the cat to human ratio. They're like 10% cat, and then the rest is just people. They're mostly people with cat head.
Look, man, it's not like he has features of a jaguar. His head is just a jaguar, and he roars like a jaguar.
He's really into his character.
You know what? Y'all are haters. King
no one
is
said
dope.
King wasn't dope. We just said King wasn't a cat.
Yeah, we all love King.
Wait, which King? Are we talking King of Fighters King? Or no, I'm just kidding.
No. It's like there's too many Kings.
There are. Which is funny, because King is actually a girl, so would she be a queen?
No, wait.
In King of Fighters?
King of Fighters,
King of Fighters. I'm moving off of, yeah. But no. And then you've got Mecha King, which is like a robot jaguar head thing.
So which of my robot kit jaguar?
Yeah. Robo meow.
You could secretly turn to the were jaguar.
You know, what are robots
God!
if not mechanical cats?
I swear, I'm pretty certain that you played Symphony of Night, because this is all I'm hearing.
What is a mat?
Every time. I went through some of the Marvel database after I was mentioning saber-toothed tigers. Yeah, Kazar from the Marvel universe actually has one. It's his buddy, Zabu.
I don't know who either of those are.
That's fair. They only show up. It's weird because they're like I guess you would call them B to C tier Marvel character, because they are only in the Savage Land, which is mostly an X-Men thing. And X-Men has thousands of characters in it anyway. But yeah, he's a guy who got Kazar is basically your Tarzan knockoff. He's in the Savage Land, and he stays in the Savage Land. But one of the things that he has, his best friend, is Zabu, which is a saber-toothed tiger. Because in the Savage Land, time forgot it, and there's dinosaurs down there, and geneticists. Savage Land's crazy. That's a thing. But yeah, Kazar mostly shows up in X-Men comics, but not without his saber-toothed tiger.
You know, there's one that I was gonna elate another one to, but I'm gonna go with one of my favorite Covenant leaders from Dark Souls here, Alvina of the Darkroot Wood, is just a big fluffy cat that protects the forest and looks like a Cheshire cat.
Oh man, Cheshire Cat.
Yep.
Speaking of cats,
yeah, and
Cheshire Cat.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna like kind of make that comparison with. But I like this one because it scared the shit out of me when I first ran into it, because it's up high in like a ruin of a castle when you're going through the woods, and it just starts talking. And I was like, what is that? What's going on? And I look up and I just see these demon eyes surrounded by a shadow, and I get closer so the game's light will shine on it. I'm like, oh, you're a big fluffy cat that's talking. Very menacing.
I don't know if you should trust it.
It was a cat, so I joined the Covenant at the end. That's the way that went.
Now I know where the one group, Oh Glorious Cracked Out Wall Kitten, came from.
Oh my god! Oh, glorious!
That's what I
Crackle Wall Kitten, give us your wisdom. It was like, keep talking about cats. I like feeling valid.
I did not realize that was from Dark Souls. I thought it was just a Dark Souls shit post or something. Like, the cat was somewhere else and someone, you know how they like to just impose Dark Souls characters into places they're not supposed to be? That's what I thought that was. I didn't realize that was actually in the game.
It was more than a meme. It was a reality.
By the way, go to Facebook and like the page Oh Glorious Cracked Out Wall Kitten.
Protector of the forest, man.
Yes.
The cat is a protector of the forest?
Absolutely, yeah. That's what the Covenant is.
Okay, I believe the Covenant will do that, but knowing the history of my cat, I don't think they can protect anything.
Look, this cat is the leader of said Covenant, and yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I got. I'm leaving it there because Alvina is still scary.
Mm-hmm. I believe that cat's scary.
Oh, hell yeah. No, this cat is demon incarnate in its appearance. I mean, let's see if I can send it to you in the little chat here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've seen the picture of that. So yeah, Cracked Out Wall Kitty has no origin.
So it sounds like you found a cat that does not help with morale. So some of them do exist, apparently.
Yeah, that cat's name is Mori. It's a white Persian cat I had living in California.
I was gonna say, babe, just this picture of it just looking so disgustingly down at me. It just says like, oh, it's May.
Oh my god, yes. It's like, you know what, we got two cats that complete our whole categories of things. One does nothing but meows, and one does nothing cuddles. It's like, between the two of you, you would be the perfect cat. If you weren't such a fucking bitch most of the time.
I need attention. I need attention from your eyes.
Oh, I wanted to go back to that Cheshire Cat before I forgot, because if you know Alice in Wonderland, you know the Cheshire Cat, and there is, like, I think no canon out there that doesn't make the Cheshire Cat seem like suspicious and kind of an asshole.
I think that's kind of the point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I mean, like, the thing about the Cheshire Cat, in the story, he doesn't have a whole ton of impact, honestly. Mm. Like, he seems super suspicious and shady, but really he doesn't do anything bad.
He's just there to laugh and be dickish.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Salem was inspired by Cheshire Cat. We're going to go back even farther.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, actually.
I was like, yeah, because it's in the... Because I haven't actually read the original novel for...
The Looking Glass.
Alice in Wonderland. Is it Through the Looking Glass? Is its original name?
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, but I know the Cheshire Cat is like a brief blip in the grand scheme of the whole book. It's kind of weird how these things get attached. You know,
he basically shows up to kind of watch Alice, kind of sorta direct her, but not really, and mostly make fun of her. And then later on, I believe he shows up with the queen, and she freaks out because she wants to cut off his head. But at that point, he's just a floating head.
Yeah, okay, so Through the Looking Glass was the original. The sequel was called Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
Right. There's actually 2 books in that thing. But it's more known as Alice in Wonderland because I think...
Because, God forbid, we name things there in the proper order. Because the sequel to Alice in Wonderland in the live-action movies is called Through the Looking Glass, which makes me angry because transposing names makes things difficult and makes it confusing, and I'm on a rant, and I'm going to stop.
What was it? Wizard of Oz actually has a ton of different books for itself?
I don't know. No, I refuse.
They just have the one.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yes, it does, and the stories are better.
And dark. There's a whole lot of craziness that happens.
Sorry, those monkeys freak
There
me
is
out.
so much more interesting shit that happens besides Dorothy.
In that case, let's totally check that out at some point.
They made a sequel to the movie from Wizard of Oz, which is The Return to Oz. It's kind of children nightmare fuel too.
Anyway, let's go back to the kitties.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
There's
Cat.
not enough cats in Wizard of Oz, so we're just gonna move on.
We're all cats right now because Leo's trying to hurt us.
This is my GTP cats. Get it.
Oh, it's a ball!
You know what cats? Fake cats we will not talk about is, or we'll talk about, musical cats.
I haven't actually seen the original musical, not the movie remake that went to questionable stuff, but the original.
The original was actually really nice. It's like I love because essentially the premise of the plot of this whole thing, spoiler alert, is let us determine who gets to go to die with our own musical introductions. Everyone gets a musical introduction. The entire time. Okay. Like, McCafferty, he gets his own solo. Mr. Mistopheles, yep, he gets his own solo too. How about the one that tap dances on the railways? Dance solo as well.
Everyone gets a solo.
I think they like to dance.
It's a singing musical. That sounds amazing.
On that note, too.
Yes. Like, those are bad singing cats.
There's also a very underappreciated animated film called Cats Don't Dance.
Yes! Yes!
That movie has some great animation, great A stuff.
Danny and Sawyer were so great.
Yes.
Don't dance?
Yes, and it is one that will make you question whether or not you're a furry in some respects, because, as Ben mentioned, with Sawyer...
Oh, I've seen clips of Cats. I've never actually seen the movie, though.
It's really good. It's actually a really good movie, and it's really upsetting that it was basically forgotten by everybody.
Right? No, it wasn't. Because now they have a reason to remember and watch now. Like Cats Don't Dance. Just go back, find it. The great
I think you
gem
can
that
get
it
it on
was.
Amazon, I think.
Mm-hmm. I know I can get it on YouTube because I actually got it from there. It's the same price.
No, when I was younger and I bottle fed and raised a litter of kittens, Cats Don't Dance was my favorite movie, and all the kittens were named after the characters.
Oh, that's adorable.
Aww.
Okay, so yes, Cats Don't Dance is available on Amazon on DVD for $9.99, or you can rent it through Prime Video for $2.99 standard def.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Correct, it is not sponsored, because I'd say buy the damn movie, don't rent it.
Interesting. Scott Bakula is in that movie.
Honestly, I was going to use that whole like music track transition to go more to like O'Malley the Alley Cat and the Aristocats.
Oh.
Disney cats.
Oh, and then don't forget Oliver and Company.
Oliver and Company.
I saw that movie just a little while ago, like first time ever. Oliver and Company, because it's a play on Oliver Twist. I like Oliver. He's such a cute kitty.
Benny, that's another one I had you watch too because you never saw it.
Mm-hmm. There are many child movies that I just never really see. But in all fairness, majority of my child movies came from can my mom find at a yard sale?
Yep.
In all fairness, she got a pretty stacked collection at some point.
You can find a good amount of things on that if you're looking.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to throw this out there real quick, because this is proof that cats are all angels. Gatomon from Digimon becomes a literal angel.
I actually really like the Gatomon arc.
Which I guess the Japanese name is radically not the same, even though Gato is Japanese for cat.
Is Gato Japanese for cat? Because Gato's Spanish.
That's Spanish for cat.
Neko.
Oh,
Neko.
Is it Neko? Or
Neko is Japanese for cat. Gato. Yeah, because the tail of Puss in Boots, like.
Oh, I'm thinking Spanish.
Yeah. But like, la gato con botas. It's like.
Gesundheit. Yeah, you're right. Neko, because Nekomata and all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you remind me of Puss in Boots, though. And it's like, yeah, some people actually, like, sometimes forget that, like,
Antonio Banderas.
But it's like, the tale of Puss in Boots is just like, no, that's an old-ass fairy tale, especially for a lot of, like more Hispanically influenced places. It's like, even Boppy's talked about some times where he knew about El Gato con Botas back down in Mexico.
I also wanted to mention Gatomon because Digimon Survive is coming out, and I'm excited because I like Digimon.
Oh, yes. It's going to be so great. Gatomon. I also love how Gatomon is actually classified. Isn't Gatomon like the champion form too?
Yes, which is really backwards because all the others are
kaiju size, and then Gatomon just like, I can fit in your backpack.
Yes. You're tiny and dangerous.
Wait, Gatomon is the
Yeah.
champion size?
That's the champion form. Gatomon is the equivalent of like Greymon in the levels that there are.
Which is great because Gatomon could realistically probably kick Greymon's ass.
Because you know what? That size advantage would really come in handy if you got a slow ass kaiju come by and you're just like, Evan.
Yeah, it's like size don't matter if you can't touch me, bitch.
I was like, meow, you motherfucker.
Going down.
Oh yeah. But speaking of smaller cats, I can't let it go without mentioning the Palicos from Monster Hunter because they are so damn adorable.
Those the ones that cook?
Yeah, Palicos. That's a play on the word calico for kitties.
I forgot that.
And they're your pal. They help you go on hunts.
But do they cook?
They do.
Then?
They also cook. In fact, that's like they have this extravagant cutscene of a bunch of Palicos making a gigantic feast for you when you go to eat before you go on a mission. And you get to customize your Palico. So my wife and I, when we're playing Monster Hunter, we modeled one of our Palicos after Alphonse, our first cat, and another one after Esper, our second cat, who is a giant scaredy cat.
Wait. Am I looking at this one? Monster Hunter World's Meowscular Chef. Like, there's a swole cat, chef cat?
Yes, and he just stares menacingly at all the other Palicos as they cook, and after they make the gigantic feast, he very gingerly puts a single piece of basil on top.
It's the most important part of that meal.
You don't want to oversee.
Right? The seasoning, you gotta get it perfect.
Yeah, I'll say that. What is this happening here?
Oh, yeah, no, they put him in the live-action movie specifically, yeah. But that's the one that will literally, top your food off with good
Okay.
stuff.
That's a win on that. Before I forget, one of my favorite cats, and has to deal with a whole lot of lore, is in Fallout 4. Running around in Fallout 4, there's a bunch of cats. Now, the reason, anyone who's played the old Fallout games kind of rejoiced at this moment, and here's why. In Fallout 1, there's only dogs that you can find, but you cannot find any cats. In Fallout 2, there's a lady who runs a restaurant that you can go into and talk to her, and she's got a sad, depressing story, but he gets a little more uplifting because because you get to talk to her and listen to her story. And one of the reasons why she's so sad is that she found out that in the West, cats are not there. After the Fallout's nuclear fallout that happened, a lot of the cats were hunted down to extinction as an easy prey to get food.
No.
And so they were hunted down and just never never out in the wilderness. Meanwhile, when Bethesda took over, and this is important to note, when Bethesda took over the Fallout series as sort of an homage, any games that are done with Bethesda are usually on the East Coast, not the West Coast.
Right.
So on the East Coast, there is in Fallout 3 takes place in Washington, D.C., but Fallout 4 is in the Boston area.
That sounds right.
Boston, Massachusetts area. And when you're in there, you can randomly find cats just running around, just hanging out at places. You can't interact with them, but they're alive. And that's what made a lot of fans super happy, because essentially their cats, they're still alive running around in the game, in the world.
So I had a theory about that, and I don't think I ever actually saw evidence of this in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I always kind of assumed that the cats in Fallout 4 were brought back by the Institute. Because they have made, like, they brought back gorillas. Every gorilla that you find in Fallout 4 is a synthetic, robotic gorilla. And I just assumed that they did that with cats. And, like, set them loose on the world and just like, okay, job's done there, and moved on.
I would love that that's kind of true. Here's why. Mad robotic scientist builds cat, leaves and goes, all right, now you go out in the world. Cat leaves, finds a farm, falls asleep, calls it a day, and just quits.
Yeah, barn cats are a thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
And no one would know any better. That's what cats do anyway. But yeah. There's nothing in there that says that they didn't do that, but there's also nothing in there that says that they did. So
they don't actually talk about the history of cats in the game, so we don't know. I just know that cats are extinct on the West Coast because they were hunted to extinction. And honestly, I have every reason to believe the same thing happened on the East Coast. Like, for the same reasons, food was scarce. You know,
You do what you do.
here's
Yeah.
a cat. It's a lot easier to take down than a dog or a scorpion that's the size of a truck. So, yeah, cat meat.
Ah, yes. Everyone had Chinese food that day.
That's a yaguai. But that's actually a bear, so that's a mess.
It's
to
a
deal with.
manticore.
I think there is a manticore in the Fallout universe.
You know, what is a manticore if not a big, angry cat?
Not a cat. Well, no. Manticore's mostly cat. Yeah, a manticore is a cat.
A manticore is like everything.
It's a cat base, like a sphinx.
Manticore, 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 manticore.
Yeah, like they've okay, if you look back at Manticore history to start with, it's like every couple years they're like, let's put something else in here.
Manticores are your fruit salad of the monster world.
That we also decided to add a little bit of chicken, some salmon, maybe some turkey.
Let's see, head of a human, body of a lion, tail of a venomous snake, porcupine quills, scorpion tail.
Just watch the Ninja Sex Party video.
A manticore is whatever your heart desires.
Yeah, manticore looks like what happens to take animal pieces and just put them on shuffle, be like, dibs.
Man, I am having trouble trying to look up manticores because I keep going into Siegfried and Roy. Although, we should talk about Siegfried and Roy's cat. It's like one of the most famous star-studded cats, but I said that one's a real cat, not a fictional one.
Yeah, it's not a fictional cat. That's a real cat that I can go and pet and it can kill me.
Like, we need some fake
Technically,
cats,
there is.
Leo.
In World of Warcraft, they added that cat in there.
Oh,
I think.
jeez.
I do
yeah.
know it's in Dead Rising 2. There is a tiger that is...
Yes.
Forgot about
it's a white
that.
tiger. He was being raised by... the handler, it goes psychotic, as people do. And the handler goes psychotic and wants to kill you because to give fresh meat to the cat because it's tired of trying to feed it zombies. And I don't know if anybody else did this, but as a goal, I tried to kill the handler, but without taking out the tiger, let the tiger go.
Same. I gotta say though, Liz, run! They're hunting you.
What?
It's a bad joke. Zombiehand.
Oh.
Although you can get zombies' hands and throw it at the cat to get distracted. It is a...
That's right! That's fucking right! I fucking forgot
Well, because
about
if
that.
you take out one of the zombies, there's a chance they'll leave behind a hand. And you
Distraction.
can use it in a couple of things, but you can just huck it at people if you want
Creative
to.
manners. I totally forgot. Instead of pocket sand with Dale, you got pocket hand.
Zombie hand, yeah!
Got zombie hand to cats.
Quick, Liz, we need a distraction. Go!
I think another one I just remembered was Happy from Fairy Tale.
So, that is a grayish area because of Happy's technical official origin.
He hatched from an egg.
Yeah, I think technically, I thought Happy was supposed to technically be a dragon.
No. Happy's always just been like just a flying cat, but like, because the thing is like they actually come from like a whole race of cats that live in the sky and are essentially like angels, which are also why they all have wings. But they sent the cats down to help out the dragon slayers, and so they're like guardian cats.
Okay, the race is called Exceed, and it's a race of cat-like beings that exist there. Okay, so I'm getting that mixed up with other stuff because Natsu's technically raised by a dragon. Anyway,
Yeah.
off topic. Happy is dope as hell. I love Happy. Happy's best cat character in that anime.
And just like, what is a cat but a flying feline that hatches from an egg?
Yeah. What is a man?
What is a cat but whatever, fill in X to Y ratio?
But what a cat is simply a feline-like creature that many fandom just be like, we're gonna take this guy here. Maybe for morale, maybe for sassiness. You know what? Morale or sassiness. You got one or two cats.
Yeah, basically. So far, the cats, if you have a fictional cat, they fall into two categories. Sassy as hell, or there to cheer you up. That's it.
Actually, those remind me of one of my favorite moments with Happy is when like this giant ancient dragon was trying, like they were trying to get information from this ancient dragon that came out, but the ancient dragon just hates humans, and it's like, I refuse to associate and give information to any of you humans out here. Happy comes out, I'm a cat though. I was like, all right, so it all started 800 years ago.
Just like disregarding the fact that the humans are still there, you got a cat, you're good with me.
It's like, you could say to me, and if these eavesdrop, that's their fault. So like, negotiation, creature to creature. We both gave him eggs, so like we're kind of cousins. So you stop to think about it.
What is a dragon if not a scaly, winged, fire-breathing cat?
At this point, what is this cat if not an echidna? Also mammal, also raised by eggs.
So many cats. It's like, there are cats appreciated from many fandoms, cultures, and many things just throughout the world.
Batman the Animated Series Catwoman actually had one cat that's her cat. She just had a bunch of other cats with her.
The rest were just strays that she took care of, but
Yeah.
they were their own independent cats who don't need no woman.
Although Catwoman should feed all those cats. However, Isis is her cat from the Batman the Animated Series. And Isis is cool. That's a cat that is also trained as a cat burglar and has on more than one occasion saved Catwoman's life. And I think she once actually found Batman to come help out Catwoman.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, that is a cat I'd want, is a cat burglar cat. That's not stealing my stuff. That's kind of important.
That would be Morgana, yes.
Speaking of animation, and I saw this with Reddit's notes, so I wonder, we kind of should talk about it a little bit. If anybody has seen it, it is an X-rated film called Fritz the Cat.
Oh my god, babe, weren't you just telling me about that?
I didn't write that in my notes. Somebody else did.
Oh. Sammy slided it in there.
There was a reason I didn't want to mention that.
Like, listen. We're like, we need to know the gloves are up. Once we find that out, cool. Now, put in the cat that showed how far we can take animation.
So, this will come up later in another podcast when we actually do talk about animation history. But Fritz the Cat came out at this weird time. I want to say early 70s. Is that film?
That sounds right to me. I don't remember all the details.
1972 is when it came out.
Yeah, it's early 70s, 72. So the reason why that's important is it's more important in animation circles than anything else, because in the late 60s and the early 70s, here's sort of the primer of that. Animation was crap. It was low budget because it was so expensive to make, and Disney stepped out. There was no competition. So so anybody who was making animation back then made it as cheaply as possible. So why Fritz the Cat became important is because Fritz the Cat used better than average animation techniques. However, they couldn't get a whole lot of it was very independently made. So since no studio actually none of the proper studios wanted to touch this movie, they decided to go ham and make it an X-rated film. People get that part mistaken. X-rated doesn't always mean porn or nudity or anything. It just X-rated actually means not the rated,
children.
not for children, and not rated by the rated group.
Yeah, it's not the same as an unrated film or not rated because those aren't on that same level. An X rating just means that this is
adult content.
It is adult content, but it is not pornographic content necessarily.
Yeah, it's like, listen, this X-rated just means that Fritz the Cat is gonna be a Golcino quite a few times, and you're just gonna have to get used to it.
Now, Fritz the Cat is a man whore. That is part of the plot line to Fritz the Cat.
For plot sakes.
For plot sakes, it is. But it is more important in animation circles than it is historically. It's kind of like how you have to understand that King Kong, when that came out, was a technical marvel. We don't see it like the original 1930s King Kong. We don't see that as a technical marvel, but making a movie like King Kong is a lot easier to make today than it was in 1930, when there's no such thing as computer graphics. Animation styles that were almost non-existent. I think they literally built the King Kong's hand to make one scene. So Fritz the Cat, I am going to put as one of my favorite ones, but I'm a history buff, so I'm going to live it on there.
Like, Fritz the Cat was revolutionary in many ways.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man whore, totally sleeps around with a bunch of other cats.
He's like, isn't he like on drugs half the time too?
Yeah, he smokes a lot of marijuana.
Yeah,
He
no,
smokes,
he is cracked out of his mind.
He is high and fucking.
Yep. The sequel to that movie is not as good, though.
No, don't waste your time with it. It's trash.
It's trash.
Like,
It's made by someone who saw Fritz the Cat. That's what that just kind of like.
It was Fritz the Cat inspired.
Mm-hmm. It's a
but
weird
our boy
anthology.
Fritz is just like, listen, there's only one really fucked up cat that's high and fucking everywhere. It's this one.
It's like they just made it shocking for the sake of making it shocking. They completely glossed over like the political satire, the tensions of that time frame. So yeah, don't waste your time on that sequel crap.
Yeah, because even though it was like a lot of him being Nicochino, it's like no, there was a really like deep plot into it.
There was a lot of subtext and satire that was put into that movie. There's a lot more thought in it in the original one. It's on my list of old movies I've been meaning to watch.
Same.
Just to see that. Like, I have never seen The Manchurian Candidate all the way through, so I've been meaning to see that.
At some point, I think we all just need to make like a list of 3 movies that everyone should watch, just to and like maybe at least pick one and just experience it, so we can all kind of have a shared.
Yeah, it's like it's like, you know what? Let's do homework on like this category stuff and just see what goes on.
Not a lot of movies because it's a big group and that would be take a lot of time.
Hey, that's why I said
that's why there's a lot of us too.
Pick one.
Let's see here. As far as all the cats that I want to talk about, the only other one I wanted to do was Luna from Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Yes, the counterpart. Or what? There's the counterpart. What was the other one's name?
Artemis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything.
Because Luna was Sailor Moon's cat.
Mm-hmm.
Artemis, I think, was Sailor
Saturn's, I think.
Venus?
Right?
No, it's
Mini Moons.
Venus.
It's Venus.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Venus. As a counterpart. But I loved it because, like, Luna comes, we'll always go up to Sailor Moon, just goes, all right, now remember, you've got to get in there. But I don't want to. Okay, here's the thing. You're Sailor Moon. Get in there and deal with this problem.
Which puts Luna in a category of the sassy cat. And I was like, listen, princess, okay, I can call you that, and you need to stop acting like a spoiled little brat and save the fucking world already.
See, poor Luna, because like she's supposed to be advisor to royalty, and like here's this hero that's supposed to be saving the world, but it's just an airheaded teenager. And so normally you're trying to herd cats and it's unsuccessful. In this case, the cat's trying to herd people.
Oh my god!
And it's exactly the same. It's exactly as difficult and fruitless.
It's just as bad. This is going.
It's like, how did you like it?
But like most of the time when you've got an or a cat character, they're just like they don't really do anything. Luna's one of the only cats that has an explicit job that she's really, honestly, genuinely trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
She's just, it's hard to do because that job is mind Sailor Moon.
It's like, in theory, my job is actually kind of easy. The problem is who the job is with. The job is easy. My coworker is ass.
I think Luna actually ends up having to slap the sense into her at one point.
Yes,
with claws out more than once.
It's like, as a matter of fact, I think there's a pretty good memory of just Sailor Moon constantly getting just cat slapped.
Yeah. Get yourself together, Sabrina.
That is not how a sailor's cat is supposed to be acting.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen any of the redub, which is using the original name, so I don't know how they changed up Luna's voice, because I know some of them did get changes.
I don't know. I heard a bunch of hype about a new Sailor Moon coming out, and then I never heard anything about it after it came out.
I heard people bitching about leg length, but then I'm like, have you guys seen the original?
They got legs for days.
You know what cat you did remind me of? One that helps mentor dumbass to save the world? Corrin from Dragonball.
Corrin, oh my god.
The one who makes the sensu beans, and then it's like, all right, Goku, here's the plan. You gotta give him water. That's it. You know what? He's literally cat toying with them. He's like, you gotta be quicker. You gotta be quicker than that. Come on, Goku! Stupid ass monkey.
And then you know what? I like Yajirobe's nickname in the abridged, which is the Bean Daddy.
Like Bean Daddy.
Well, he makes the sensu beans, right?
I'm the Bean Daddy. My beans.
Yeah, it makes sensu beans.
Here's one bean. What does it do? It completely heals you. Now, first, you need to get your ass kicked. I'm not giving these for free.
And it's like, wait, what? It's just like, come on, Corey, you gotta be like, listen, these things are hard to grow. These are literally miracle seeds. You think they come easy? No.
Well, and that's the thing, because as the show goes on, he basically does just give them out for nothing. Like they show up, they're like, "Hey, can we have some beans?" Yeah, here's 12, or however. Here's exactly enough for the plot.
Yeah, they're giving them out so bad that it's like, hey, Cell, have a senzu bean.
You know, I think he just gets to the point that just like, because remember he used to just have like a giant just gourd of beans, but then like as soon the farther you go into series, it's literally he'll just toss a bag of whatever, just like that's all the beans I got. Just like, why is this all? Because you keep asking for them. Stop getting your ass kicked. Maybe I'll get more beans next time.
Maybe
It's like, look, this stash is my stash, not your stash. Get out.
Maybe Goku, you should use a tactic once in a while instead of just, I don't know. How about you don't give the beans to the guy you're trying to fight? You ever think of that one?
I was like, but I want to have a fair fight. Listen,
Teach Gohan how to dodge.
fuck your fair fight. Kick ass.
Well, and I mean, it's important to note he didn't give the bean to Cell so that Goku could get a fair fight. He gave the bean to Cell so that his 11-year-old son could get a fair fight.
While he, Cell decided to not do the fair fight and try to blow himself up, which got him killed.
It didn't stick the first time.
So, in conclusion, yes, another case of a sass-tacular cat dealing with another dipshit.
Look,
how the tides have turned.
I love Goku. I think he's a fun, amazing character. I'm just saying he is not smart.
Yeah, that's why we know that Gohan's intelligence is all from his mom.
Yeah, because Goku is a stupid monkey.
Just so dumb. Let's see here. As far as my fictional cats, those are the ones that I wanted to talk about. Does anybody have other ones to pop in?
Basically every cat from Lackadaisy.
Oh, yes.
But in particular, Mordecai. Mordecai is fantastic.
If you haven't read it, Lackadaisy is a webcomic. The art style's fantastic, very expression filled. And Lackadaisy takes place in the 20s?
Yeah, it's 1920s. It's about a group of gangsters that run a speakeasy, and they're all anthropomorphic cats. Specifically chosen because cats are more like when a cartoon cat is more easily drawn expressive. Like, you can draw a cat doing expressions in ways that you can't draw a person doing.
Like really big expressions and such, yeah.
But Mordecai is fantastic because he's a tuxedo cat. He is the most serious character in the comic, and it 100% comes back to bite him all the time.
I love that.
Absolutely worth a read, even though it doesn't update very much now because the author is focusing on making an animated version, which I'm all kinds of
Oh, that
about.
is amazing. I'd love to see that.
When it comes out eventually in like 2 years. Turns out animation takes a lot of time.
It does. It does. And any other fictional cats you want to talk about before we close it?
I want to just give at least a little shout out to Jean from No More Heroes. I don't know if any of you have played No More Heroes.
I have, but I don't remember who Jean is.
Jean is Travis's cat, who you feed and pet and give love in the first game. And in the second game, Jean is fat, and you have to help Jean lose weight by playing with Jean and rubbing her tummy, and it's adorable.
That's so cute. Oh. Hey, does anyone know if in Chrono Trigger that Janice's cat actually has a name? I know there's like 15 other cats in that game.
I don't think Janice's cat or Chrono's cat have names. They're just your cat.
That they get lost in time.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they're friends.
In my headcanon, they're friends. Like, they use time-traveling master, they're like, yeah, my master travels through time. No way, so does mine. And that's how their relationship starts. Alright, I'll just go down the row. Zombiehand, you got any other cats?
Outside of the myriad of cats in Animal Crossing, my favorite is Kabuki, by the way. I think that I just want to mention the cat you can get in Cyberpunk 2077, Nibbles, because so the game, the cats are cats are not like extinct in Night City, but they're very scarce. You don't actually see them within the city. But there's a little side mission thing you can do where you can you go pick up some cat food and you leave it by your door or something like that. I don't remember exactly. And you eventually find one of the only remaining cats in Night City, and you adopt him and name him Nibbles, and he is a hairless cat.
That's adorable. I didn't know that was a thing. I am now upset that I don't have that.
Yeah, it's an easy to miss thing because it doesn't show up as an actual side quest. You just have to go get this thing, and you leave it out, and then you get Nibbles. Or Mr. Nibbles? I don't remember, honestly. But yes, it is a cat. It is one of the only cats in Cyberpunk 2077 because they no longer live within the city because the air is too toxic.
I get that.
Boy, if ever there was a reason to stop pollution, it's to protect the cats.
It sounds like a whole lot of we use cats as canaries, like the canary in the cave. That's not a good thing. What about you, Moon? You got any other fictional cats you want to get?
I'm sorry, actually, but side note, that would be a terrible idea. Because is the cat dead or is it just asleep?
That's terrible.
Oh my god.
Oh, that reminds me of like the origins of Eek the Cat, which is horribly morbid. Also, I really loved Eek the Cat. If no one has ever seen that show, you're missing out because that cat
never hurts to help.
That cat just wants to help, and it is so bad for him every time. Oh man. Actually, if I could find episodes of Eek the Cat, I'd love to watch that again. All right. Moon, you got any other cats?
For some reason, I'm just thinking of the cats from Twilight Princess when you're in Hyrule, and they just like around your feet, and you can pick them up and carry them around. And then there's the Poe quest, so you can unfreeze the guy who has his big fat cat stuck to his head, encased in gold.
I know I didn't play much of Twilight Princess, but this is a new one for me. I'm like, what happened here?
It's like really out of the way stuff. You just gotta run around and look around. But yeah, you can pick the kitties up and pet them. And they go meow meow meow.
If you want to get these cats, you gotta earn the cats.
All right. What about you, Ben? Any other cats?
So 2 popped in my memory. So Acma.
Yeah, audience, you might not see this. The second he said half, however, we're trying to figure just all the expressions just all of a sudden.
So that happened. That happened. I'll get to, but like, so one is like one of my favorite like trolling moments by a cat in an anime, which was Blair the cat from Soul Eater.
I think I know that one.
And that her whole introduction was that like no, it was the Soul Reaper that just like they had to collect like a 99
souls, and then the 100th had to be a witch soul.
Yeah, so to be like official like Reaper sized or. But the thing is, like, when you were fighting...
a death scythe.
A death scythe. Okay, that's what it was. It's been so long since I seen it. But then they finally find this witch. Just like, okay, this is the first episode, too. And it's just, they keep trying over and over. But just like, you know, the dude just is a teenage boy and a big titty witch girl. It's like, what do you expect? So, but eventually, they finally get her. And he's like, "Oh God, I can feel great power." Nothing happened. All of a sudden, a cat comes by, just like, "Who said I was a witch?" Like, what? Transform? No, I'm not a witch. I'm actually just a cat with really powerful abilities.
With lots of magic.
And even when she turns to a human, she still acts like a cat to everybody.
Oh, I remember that episode.
See, and I like that because they killed the cat and then they ate its soul, but the cat was still around because cats have 9 lives.
Yeah.
The question is, which life number did they consume?
Exactly. Well, not number 1.
Not the last one. That's all that matters.
Not the last one. Okay. Another one I was thinking of was Chi from Chi Sweet Home. It's this nice little like short slice of anime of a little cat going on his little cat adventures. Like it almost feels like Brutus and Pixie, sort of. Minus Brutus. And the half comes from Banana, a series of banana cats. Hence the half.
I remember
because the other half, it's literally just like Cheese Sweet Home, a bunch of shorts, but it's like all these bananas that open up, and they're all actually cats inside. And it's like, oh no, Banana Cat is going to come around and just do stuff. And it's like, oh, banana cat fell. So it's half a cat, because the other half is banana. But what is a banana but an unpeeled cat?
Yeah.
Apparently, in this case. Ugh.
Unpeeled cat is a phrase I never thought I would hear. And here
And
we are.
now we can have that phrase and know the existence of banana cats.
Look, we're here
Okay.
to raise expectations, Rob.
We're here to have everybody know that just like, whatever cat you can think of, it probably exists, so go find it.
Mm-hmm. There's banana cats, nana cats. That's a potassium-filled cat. Let's see here. Brandon and Rob. Any other ones for you guys?
Honestly, I think I'm good.
I mean, the last one that I can really think of would be Felix the cat. And like, I never actually saw any of the original Felix stuff. I only saw there was like a movie where he went to another dimension and had to save a princess. And that was the only bit of Felix media I've ever witnessed, but it was my favorite movie as a kid. I loved it so much.
I remember watching that movie as a kid. I've seen one image of Felix the cat, and here's your fun trivia mood. Felix the cat is the first image to ever be broadcasted on a television.
Oh, wow.
Ever is Felix the cat. That's how they tested the equipment. They have an image of Felix the cat. They put it on there. But yeah, but he was a big star back in I want to say the 20s, when they were back with Simple Animations and Nickelodeons. But yeah, I saw the 80s cartoon. I'm like, all right. I used to own the Felix the Cat, the video game, the NES game, and none of these things make sense to each other. That's just not how it's happening.
Felix the cat was not about making sense.
I think it's like a weird remake, and it's even weirder in that it's just a mess. All right. So with that, we've got all. So that is some of our favorite fictional felines. Some were animated, some were in video games, and some were just in stories altogether. But I think, as a final aside, it's best to say if you have a cat, they fall under two big things. They're there to support you emotionally, or they're just a sass master and will sassy it up for you.
Raising morale or just ruining your day.
Mhm.
Also,
Sometimes both at once.
upon a nice Google search, I found out Puss in Boots' story dates all as far back as the 1600s. So nice little fun fact there.
Mhm. In the 1600s, they were having boots. Before that, they were all socks. All right, guys. So I'm going to close out this episode. If this airs when I think it is, and if not, I'll make a correction on this. It would be, our next episode on this would come out on September 15th. I would hope to have you guys come in and listen to us again. In the meantime, this is Gaming Theater Podcast, logging out. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.
Thanks for listening.
Have a perfect day. Cool cats.
Gaming Theater Podcast is hosted, created, produced, and edited by Leo Garcia, the Geek Scorpio. Our music is A Drinking Game. Stock media provided by Stormwave Audio /Pond5. Our cover art is by Adam Parker. You can find him at ParkerGFX on Twitter. If you want to send us some financial support to help with producing things for Gaming Theater, you can do so at patreon.com/gamingtheaterpresents. It helps us out. Want to send support that doesn't hit your wallet? Please leave a review with wherever you hear your podcasts and share our podcast with your friends. It really helps out. Thank you for listening.